a lot of what we did back in the days was we just did it out of passion, right? We never really think too far ahead because we felt like it's better to live in the now.
Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah, I really feel that a few people that I've told about this, they're just like really excited to hear your story. So yeah, I'm just excited to like find out as well because I don't really know fully.
I don't really do much, like talks like this. So, I'm cool with, doing with you, I'm comfortable with you. So
Yeah.
We'll just see what where this takes us,
Yeah.
Cool.
Hectic. All right, maybe let's just start off with like a 2-minute rundown of like where you've come from, where you grew up, and just like how you got to like this point.
Okay, so I was actually born in Malaysia, but I moved to New Zealand when I was like 9, and then that was my home ever since. The earlier part of my years, I come back to Singapore for holiday a lot because a lot of my family are here, and that's where I met Felix, like back in '99,
How old were
2000. Back then, or
Yeah.
like when I came back to Singapore.
When you met Felix.
99, I was like 19.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
I think I just started b-boying, started dancing,
Yeah,
right?
okay, cool.
So yeah, I moved to New Zealand when I was 9. Didn't really dance at a young age. I mean, like, I'll dance around at like high school parties. I don't even know what I was doing. Just jump around. I know at a young age, I like Michael Jackson, but it was nothing serious.
Yeah.
And then got serious when I met my mentor and one of my best friends. His name is Marita, he's Cambodian, and he was the first guy I sort of that taught me how to break dance, right?
Yeah.
And then I met him at uni. So my first year at uni was also 1999. And from there I sort of met up with a few Asian, all the Asian sticks together, and then we started, break dancing together, and I created a crew called Fly Rice Crew. It's super funny because it's all Asian dudes.
Yeah.
And then we combined with another Filipino crew called Locomotion. So that became the crew name in 1999. And then I met this guy with all you Australian would know really well, Joel, right?
Yeah.
So I met Joel in 2000. We went to the same uni as me. We practiced at this place, at the rec center at Auckland University, and he came in. Just this guy, big hair. He was like, "Hey man, like, guys, like, oh, you guys are dancers. Like, I want to make a crew. Can you join me?" I'm like,
Crazy.
"No." Like, still, I mean, I don't know. You just get walked in, and, b-boys are b-boys.
Yeah.
And we're just like, what kind of dance do you do? He's like, "Oh, I do like hip hop choreography." And no, I'm not homophobic, but like, back then, young dick,
no.
that's some gay ass shit. No.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, but there's girls." We're like, "All right, cool, we'll hang with you."
Yeah.
So that's how we met straight up. And he has a different vision to us. And for me, I owe a lot of what I have today to him. Yeah. I just don't know how to bring it out to people. I always tell people when I meet them, but basically I was just a guy who's just all about hip hop, breakdancing. I don't know much about choreo or urban back then, or even all this stuff, right? So basically, we met, and then the following year, I think 2001, he did an audition for his crew called 888 Funk. Back then it was called Cuts, right? Company of University of Dancers. And like 20 people auditioned, not a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so and he wanted me to help out, so I auditioned the crew with him, just sit in, even though I don't know much about hip hop, well, urban or choreography dance, just giving him advice where I can. So the first year, like 20 people auditioned, he picked 10. They did their first performance. We did it together. I think it was those Auckland Uni orientation week. Like 15 people turned up or something to watch it. It was cool. We did our thing.
Yeah.
It was fun. And then after that, I think the year after that, You Got Surf came out. Right. So that changes a lot of things because I think for the longest time, b-boys and urban dancers, they don't really mix because just the way the culture is. But Joe and me, we became really close friends. I taught him a lot of things, and he taught me a lot of things about urban dance. Each other. So we kind of like, vibe off each other. Back then, it was still very early stage, so obviously we have argument here and there.
Yeah.
But we try to do shows together. And then that very same year, we did our first, I think, recital. So we put a show together, and then we sold the tickets, and that was great.
Where was this? This is all in Auckland?
Auckland, or in New Zealand. This is, I'm talking about like early, like, so 1999 I started breakdancing, 2000 I met Joe, 2001. So this whole 2-3 sort of years period, right, is where the whole thing sort of got off. And then, like I say, You Go Surf came out, and then the hype was all about that. And we were like the only two crews in the whole of New Zealand that had b-boys and dancers.
Yeah.
Everyone else is either only dancing or only b-boys. The only other crew that had that was, of course, if you're from New Zealand or Australia, Desire. So Desire had Face City Rockers, which is a b-boy crew.
Yeah.
And obviously having a b-boy in that sort of competition sort of mode helps. So basically, with You Got Surf came out, a lot of competitions started coming out, right? And then obviously if you have b-boys, you sort of have an upper hand because like tricks and all that stuff. So that kind of started the whole Triple Eight Funk. We did a new crew. Locomotion still runs as Locomotion as a b-boy crew. We join competitions as a b-boy crew, but we do shows together with Triple Eight Funk and Joel, and that's how the whole thing sort of started.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like there's a lot
Yes.
to unpack of like all of that.
A lot.
But Okay. We'll try to slowly get through it. Let's just get started with maybe like you growing up. I'm just curious as well. Like you as a child, like what were you like in school and like?
Well, in high school, well, I mean, honestly, like in Malaysia when I was growing up, like, so my mom and dad divorced at a young age, so I was with my dad the whole time.
Cool.
And I don't really, I remember a lot, but basically, like, I just, normal Malaysian kid, like, going to school. I nothing about dancing, obviously, I know I like outdoors, I like to go, like, fishing and just adventuring, just, like, ride around town on my bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, I think, study-wise, I was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been, like, the top of my class, but I just felt like...
But you weren't, like, the bottom or anything? You were just, an average kind of kid?
Yeah, average. But I knew that, like, I just felt like the education system in Asia wasn't really my thing, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I got sent to go live with my mom when I turned 9.
Okay.
And then I went over there, to New Zealand, and then at intermediate, I played basketball and badminton. I played a lot of sports.
Just sports.
In high school, I played sport as well. Basketball, I played like 7 different sports. I even played briefly for Auckland under 18 for basketball. So I think my high school years was a lot of basically sports. Just no dance.
Yeah.
Dance was like just what I do at home.
Yeah.
Just jump around, bro. Like
I don't know.
Actually, I don't, like this really no specific direction. Like kids this day, they get to all this information, so they know what they want, or
you get to choose pretty
exactly
much.
Choose.
I
didn't know, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was doing a Running Man. I didn't know I was doing like whatever. So yeah, my growing up at school was literally sports, a lot of sports, mainly basketball and badminton.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was there any like subjects in school that you like were randomly interested in? Was it like a science or like some?
Oh, okay. I am definitely not an Asian kid. If you know what I mean. Like chemistry and all that. Nah, I'm not.
Like, nah.
Yeah, I did a lot. So Japanese, all right. So I speak 7 languages. Not all fluently, but enough.
A little bit here and
there. Yeah. So I learned Japanese for 7 years, all through high school. So that was one of my favorite. And then, funny enough, like I like history too.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, I knew that whatever you get taught at school is not legit, right? But I like those kind of stuff. So I wasn't really a science boy. It was just I think I did language. I did like history. I did geography, English. All those. Yeah.
I see. So in school, were you like because you did all the sports and stuff? Because usually back in the day, like sports is like you're the man kind of thing. Yeah. Was it like that for you, or were you kind of like just still kind of like average student kind of?
It was hard. I mean, basketball wise, the best team in school is the Preems. Right? I played a couple of games for them, but I never actually made the team fully. But I was the captain of Senior A, which was the next one down, right? And basketball is what I played a lot of. Okay, I really, really love basketball. Like I just spent a lot of time on that. But once again, like, dude, I'm short, man. I'm like 172. Yeah.
When did you realize like that?
That basketball was I think when I went to college, university, it's like damn, I can't do this. Like, I mean, this is not gonna be for me like full time or whatever. At one stage. When I was 15, 16, I was really trying, man. Like, I was, like I say, I go to all the reps training and I audition for like, higher level basketball team. And like I said, the highest I ever got was Auckland under 18.
Yeah.
And even then, I made the team, but like I was just like, it was short lived. And plus, man, the coach was crazy, dude. Like, yo,
Yeah.
every time I miss a shot, running with lads, and I was like, damn. But so I mean, I liked it. But that was as far as I could really go.
Yeah.
In terms of
Was that like the
sports, yeah.
first thing that you were like, I'm gonna go all in for, like basketball? Or was there anything else like that you kind of?
I mean, I was gonna go all in, but I also like I was like, yeah, I want to play in the NBA, of course. That's
Yeah,
why you
just,
started.
like, yeah.
But I don't think I went all in, as in like,
Yeah. Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like the mental
I
like of
still
like I'm really gonna.
go to college and finish uni and
Yeah.
and do all that. I remember skip back a little bit when I was really young. I really wanted to be a pilot.
Pilot,
Right? Yeah,
okay.
like a fighter, a jet pilot.
Oh, okay.
But I went to there's this thing called like no Marine Corps. I can't remember what it's called. But it's like literally for junior kids who want to become pilots. You have to join this Air Force thing. This is for kids. I was 12, I think. And the first thing I did was check your eyesight, and I fell straight away because I had lazy eyes.
Yeah.
My vision was fine, but when I read books, I have to use a ruler because I double read stuff.
Oh shit. Okay,
So I was like, they were like, oh, you can't be a pilot. I laugh.
Is that like still like not like affecting you like now
No.
to this day, or you're like
Not
good
really.
with the reading stuff? Or,
I
like
kinda hit-
eyes.
Right now, I kind of hate flying.
Okay.
To be honest, I fly a lot. That's another whole different thing. But something happened, and I had a bad experience flying one time. And I was like, damn, I don't want to fly anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was just sort of just
Yeah.
like this is
a
life.
little thing.
Things changes, right? But I think what I have learned from all that is just never to give up, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really like give up easily if I want something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fast forward once again to the whole high school sports thing. Yeah. So all through high school, basically, sports was a big part of my life. I really, really like studying languages. So Japanese was a big part of
Yeah.
my life growing up too.
I feel like that's so good for you now, like in terms of like what you're doing,
Yeah.
knowing languages and stuff. I feel like it's such
it does help.
blessing.
Yeah, later on you understand
Yeah.
why it does help a lot. But yeah, that's literally my high school in a nutshell. Schooling wise, I'm always like middle. I'm not like super top. And to be honest, I went to a really good school and a really hard school to get in. So you're from Sydney, right?
I'm from
Perth, but
technically, yeah.
so I went to this school called Auckland Grammar Boys, and they have their sports are like a lot of All Blacks come from that school. A lot of scholars come from that school. So it was tough too. Like every term, if you don't do well, they drop you from class to class.
Oh,
So it's A
shit.
to Z. I think that's only a few schools in New Zealand ever does that.
Yeah.
And so every time you have an exam, if you don't do well, then they drop you another class, another class, another class.
Do you feel like that taught you anything now, like looking back on it, or do you feel like it was system?
It's a system, but that system was good.
Yeah.
I feel like their system is a good, like, okay, I feel like Asia's school system is really, really harsh and really, really like one-sided towards like, academic, but like grammar had it just right. They have good, like, basically they want everyone to be like good at academics and sports. You know what I mean? Or arts. It's not
Yeah.
like a off
Just
balance
one
thing.
side, yeah.
Exactly. So I remember my first year, like basically Form 3. I don't know what is it now in grade, but I went home and I told my mom I was in K. She almost cried.
Oh my
What? K? How many classes are there? I was like, I think it goes down to like M. So I'm only 2 classes off the bottom.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
you suck. And all my other Asian friends are like B, C,
Yeah.
D. But it's cool, man, because by the end of that year, I went up to H.
Okay.
And then the highest I ever went was F.
Yeah.
And then I went back down to H again. So H literally is smack in the middle, right? So
Yeah,
it's
okay,
okay.
okay.
I'm cool with that. So, but that school is really, really good. It taught me a lot about traditions. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's a really like traditional, kind of like Sydney boys, like white school. But it's cool. It's like racism. Yeah, when I was younger, I get it. But as you grow older, everyone sort of like
You just
grow
can't
out,
get over it.
get
Yeah,
over
yeah.
it, grow out of it, and I made a lot of good friends, and a lot of the friends, I used to talk to them, So yeah, I think it's a really good school, and that school taught me a lot about I can't really pinpoint what they taught me, but I learned a lot while I was there.
Yeah.
Just navigating through life, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the teachers are really good too. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Maybe let's just go on a little bit from here. Let's go after high school. Like, what were your plans?
Okay.
What you wanted to do?
This sounds so funny. But honestly, when I was in university, I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna get married by 30, have kids and a house. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, it's not didn't happen. So went to college. I think college was a bit crazy. I was in like at high school at Grammar, everything was very strict, right? Like I say, it's one of the best schools in the world for a reason. Um, but when I got to college, it was like, yo, no one takes attendance. And I started, that's where I found breakdancing. That's why I started dancing. I'm not gonna lie, man. The first term, I failed out of 4 papers, 3.
Yeah.
Because I was just dancing in the studio every damn day.
Insane.
I even missed my accounting exam. Almost, I made it, but I might as well just didn't go.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was just dancing. I found, because once I say, like I mentioned before, I got to uni, I went to rec center, I saw a bunch of Korean guys popping, but there was still breakdancing. And then I met my best friend now, my mentor, Marita, and he's a Cambodian guy, and he was already doing like windmill, swipe, 90s. So yeah, so he literally took me under the wing and then, you know, taught me, you know, about breakdancing. He may not be like, yo, you know, like a lot of b-boys, like full of knowledge. He doesn't have that, but he knew enough to get me started. And I was really like all in on that. You know what I mean? Like really all in on that.
Do you know, like, do you remember the feeling that you felt like the first time seeing it or learning it? Like the first time you were like in it?
I literally was like, okay, so before breakdancing, right, the first 2 months I was hanging with these Korean guys, they will teach me popping, right, so waving. So I was doing it, hello waving, like I liked it, but something was missing. Then I saw breaking, I was like, yo, you know what, screw that, this is the one.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's, I don't know how to explain it, like, just breakdancing, I just feel free. It's freedom, right? And it's dance and it's acrobatic, it's just, and obviously it looks cool and stuff. So I just got naturally like attracted to that, and then and the other thing once again is like, this is not, I'm not saying that like Australia and New Zealand is racist, but when you're in a country where like the main population is not,
it's not you,
your color,
yeah,
you tend to stick together, right? And it's not in a bad way, right? And it's worse when it's breakdancing, because back then, this is before the whole Korean explosion thing, right? So when at university there was like one white dude and all Asians, but when you go out to train and to break, it's all either Maoris or Islanders, right? And there's not many Asians, so sort of tend to stick together, and we help each other, we vibe off each other. That's what a crew is, man. Like a lot of people make super crews these days, but my crew's been around ever since that time, right? 01 to now, it's almost 18 years already. So a crew is literally like a family, you know. You don't just meet each other for dance. You meet each other for lunch, for whatever reason,
everything.
right?
I definitely feel that.
Exactly.
I think it's such an important like factor, especially in these days. Like, I really think like friendship is the more important thing other than the dance.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I mean, that's how it started. So like I said, I created my own crew, and then we met this bunch of Filipino guys. We don't even know them. Like, we used to practice at this place called Mid City. So it's in Auckland City. I think people still practice there now these days. So it was just us. It was me. It's like 6 of us, like all like Chinese.
Yeah.
And then we were just breaking, and then this whole bunch of Filipinos came. There were like 20 of them, and they were there playing LAN, right? CS. And then after that, they started watching us and just sat there. So it was like, yo, like almost like a stare down.
Yeah.
And then like we would start breaking, and then they started breaking. I was like, oh shit! And they were like literally better than us. I guess Filipino culture, dancing is a big part of their culture, and then we became friends, and till this day, we still same crews, same friends. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think you might even know some of them. Like most of them live in either Brisbane or Melbourne now. So James, Chai, Lex. Yeah.
The guy from Sydney?
Lex, no. Lex is
Lex.
Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So B-boys, right? They're all the B-boys, right? Blair in Melbourne now.
Yeah.
Sydney, I don't think that anyone is in Sydney. So
Okay.
we are still a crew. We still talk. I mean, we don't battle anymore because literally the only 2 generations left that's still battling are based in Malaysia and Philippines. The New Zealand boys and the Australian boys are also just chill out now. So
Yeah. Okay, hectic. Man, that's insane. So maybe like go from there. So you started getting into dance and stuff. Like, what was your goal? Because obviously what did you study in school first?
Oh, so university,
college?
I did marketing and international business.
Okay.
All right. So
and did you finish that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, I failed my first term because I was dancing so much. But after that, I kind of got my shit together, and then
cool.
my mom was like, if you're gonna dance so much, maybe instead of like, because everyone's trying to trying really hard to finish quick within the 3 years. So everyone's doing like 8 papers a year. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do 3, you know?
Yeah.
Take my time. And yeah, I graduated. So yeah.
Because that's the way I thought when I was like first going to
Yeah.
uni as well. I was like, I'm gonna take my time.
Yeah.
I didn't finish because this is
Oh, you didn't
not for me.
finish?
Like I just can't.
Yeah.
Be
It's
that
really
person.
important, man. Like in hindsight, I'm glad I finished it. I know it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But in order to prove yourself in this world, you need that paper is like that thing to get you out there so that your real self can come out.
I don't know. This is such an interesting.
You don't have to do it,
Hey,
but that's what I feel because
Yeah.
that's why a lot of my kids these days,
Yeah.
I also tell them that, and because of what I went through, right? After that, me and Joe for 888, we're like, yo, anyone who fails their exams cannot dance for the crew, because we felt that's really important.
Damn.
To not veer away from that.
Yeah.
B-boys are different. Okay. Long story. We'll come to that later. But if you are at university, you shouldn't really be failing. Yeah. I failed because I literally did not manage my time well because I just didn't know how to.
Yeah.
I went from a like super strict school to boom, here you go.
You just freedom, right?
Woke up on Monday and be like, this class, I don't have to go. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It was weird for me too. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you don't have to go, I was
Yeah.
like, I have the full choice. And I'm
Exactly,
like, I probably
right?
don't want to then.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not what I want to do
Exactly.
anyway. Like,
but the thing is, I do wanna. The paper I pick is the paper I wanted to pick.
okay,
Right.
see, I think that's the difference. And to me, that's what I always will feel now is like, if it's something you want to do, I definitely think don't waste time and just do it. Like
Yeah.
whether you take like a bit longer,
Yeah.
I think it's fine. But for me, like I was doing a course based on just like everyone is telling me to do it, so I'm
So it's not
guessing
what
I
you-
should
what-
kind of do it.
What was it?
It was commerce, like just
Oh, what
marketing
I do,
and stuff.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but like I know it was gonna help me because it was something I was kind of interested in. But I don't know, like I just couldn't like push through it because I was just like, it's not.
It will help you because commerce is such a broad thing,
Yeah.
right? It's not like law is very, but commerce is very open. So
Yeah.
regardless of what you do in life, even if you become a producer, if that's what you want, it will come in handy somewhat. But yeah, for me, I'm cool with it. International business. I knew that. I don't know how, but I knew that one day I'll be working
this.
like with international people. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But that was sort of my thing, and so marketing was always. I talk a lot, so I guess that's a good mix, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
So friendly and stuff like that. Yeah.
I feel like I have a question, and then we'll try to go back into the story because this is like something I'm like I just find interesting and stuff. But like for me, growing up when it was in high school, learning marketing and stuff, the reason I didn't like it as much is weirdly like in the way that you knew that you were going to work with international.
Yeah.
I just knew that the world was going to be different. Like
Okay.
back in the day, like no one knew the Facebook or like all these kind of things, and I just felt like everything we were learning, I was like, I just didn't understand how they weren't catching up, and I just knew it was going to change.
Okay. The funny thing is, you learned marketing in high school, right?
Yeah.
Or
Not
college?
really, nah.
Did you say high school though?
No, this uni.
Uni. Yeah. Okay. So I was way even. Back then we had internet, but it took me 1 hour to like download like one picture. Kind of thing. So I didn't really think of the internet as that important. I'm just gonna let you know that when I was younger, I don't even think I have that far of a vision. Everything we did, and this goes a long way to come back. Me and Joe talks about it a lot. Is a lot of what we did back in the days was we just did it out of passion, right? We never really think too far ahead because we felt like it's better to live in the now. But what did happen was, once again, this will be more. We'll talk about this more later. Is whatever people we've met through the journey who have done it before and gave us advice, we took it and we still use it, and it helped us. Funny enough, some of those people who gave us those advice stop following their own advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So when I was, and it's a different generation now, right? So when at my generation, things were slower, pace-wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot more to elaborate, but
I think
along the line, it will catch up, and then you'll find out you see how this all ties in
plays out.
together.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean because I think your generation is a lot of information.
Yeah, it's just
It's hard to like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ours is like we're searching for it. Yours is like it's just there. It's too much.
Picking.
Yeah,
it's like the other one.
peaking.
Yeah. The other
You're
one said-
picking. I'm searching. Yeah. So that's the difference.
That's such a like. I feel like that's such a good way to like describe it.
Yeah. So like for us, it's like we have to go, and when you have to go searching for things, I would say it's easier than picking for things because you kind of know what. Well, not
When-
know, but
when you
you're
find it, you
looking
just
for
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll be like, wait, what's this? Oh no, this is not this. But picking though is like,
You just never know because you're afraid of
Yeah.
each like where
Exactly.
it's gonna lead you down. You're like, should I do that? Should I do that?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Yeah. And I'm not saying what you do is wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just different.
it's a choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
different,
just
it's a choice.
different thing, yeah.
In the end of the day, I'm the borderline between like new school and old school. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
generation before me is just straight up OG.
Old school. Yeah.
I'm like half.
Yeah.
So, we're like a bit of both. So yeah, like
Crazy.
we are like that generation before you guys, I guess. You know what I mean? So we have both.
Yeah,
sort of in a
yeah,
way,
Let's go into like you and Joel's like friendship. How did you meet? Well, yeah, like you guys were saying that you went with like your passion. Like when you
Yeah.
guys first started talking, like what?
I can tell you this right now, man. Everything I've done so far, I've never
Yeah.
no plan. I didn't plan to pursue dance at all.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now. That was not. I never wake up one day and be like, I want to be like this. You know. For me, like I say, during that period of time, dance was just. It was fun. It was friend. It was family. It was a thing that made me happy. So me and Joel, once again, the first 2 years was rough. Obviously, we're still trying to figure each other out. And I'm very fire. He's water. But together we work well.
Yeah.
Right. He's super, chill. I'm like,
You just want to do. Yeah.
but we work well, right? So after the whole, so the first big competition we joined was this Yuga Surf competition run by a radio station, and it was us versus Desire, and you obviously know Desire, and right after that, I think that's where HHI took off, and then I didn't, but I know that the boys and Joe combined and they came as high as 4th in 2007.
Yeah.
And I think after that or before that, Joel and a few other hits of like the bigger crew combined and created SDNZ, and then that's the same thing that's keeping HHI New Zealand going right now, right? I don't have really much say in that now, but I would like to say that during the whole period of time, I didn't give a shit about urban dance. I can tell you this, but something changed. All right, the whole time so like I said, me and Joe, we keep helping each other, educate each other, and every time he used the word hip hop, I'll be like, man, you better fucking know what you like, why this is called hip hop. Which is why today he has a lot of knowledge when it comes to this kind of stuff because I school him on it, right?
Force them to like get
and
into
exactly. So we always want to make sure that like the word urban dance and hip hop isn't used incorrectly. I'm not saying that I know everything, but back then I was still learning. But he's definitely like getting a lot of shit from me when he's like, oh, hip hop class at da da da. I'm like, nah, bro, what the hell? But you know what I mean? So we help each other. Then, I think 2004, somebody came back from America, right? And we have video nights, us crew, hangout nights. And someone put on this culture shock showcase, I think it's Prelude 2004.
Okay.
And I saw Formality.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Formality, for those who don't know, and a lot of people don't know, Formality is like the first super crew when it comes to like urban dance. So in that crew, was a young guy called Keone, who was 14, Bing was 15, Paul Ross was 16, Jason Onyx, I think Kevin Nguyen was in there slightly a bit later, Sai Bartolome, all these guys, Philip Ganiza, they were all in that crew, right? So I watched them dance. Now I am a big fan of R&B, hip hop dance, right? So while they were watching it, I didn't give a shit. I was just like chilling with my boys, and then I saw a set that they did, and it was like, literally like a R&B slow jam set, but not done in those like wait, it's just like a legit. I was like, damn, but these guys are good. And then I was like, Joe, who are these guys? He's like, oh, dude, this is like Formality, and this is like we didn't know them. Someone went to America, came back with a DVD. Gandalf. Gandalf is
What a dope name.
Gandalf teaches. I think it's called Body Pump at Les Mills in Auckland right now.
Yeah.
But he's one of those under the radar OG that started like the dance scene back in the days, right? I don't talk to him a lot. I don't deal with him a lot. But Joe did, and he's the same people. He's a guy who also I think first taught IDCO's Josh's brother, Richie and Andrew. So he was their first teacher, right? So I don't know. This is tall, lanky white dude.
Yeah.
So he's the one who gave that to Joe, right? So, and this is where I say the whole social media thing comes in, because nowadays you can just send someone a DM.
Yeah.
You know what Joe did? He flew to San Diego.
Yeah.
Joe watched that, got so inspired, flew to San Diego, took a year off, flew to America, to San Diego, and met up with the founder of Melody, right? His name is Eric Sarpon. Met up with him. We're like, yo, you crazy, dude.
I'm super curious. How did he meet up with him? Because obviously back in the day, it's like
MySpace. So
okay,
when we
I love
found
it.
out,
Cool. Yeah.
yeah, social media. I mean,
You had a little bit.
a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So MySpace. I think he met him through MySpace, and then he went. He hung out with him, stayed with him. I guess vibe of him, and then that's where he met. So he knows these guys from
Back then.
way back,
Yeah.
right? At the same time, he also met a very young Sean Evaristo. And when he came back, he imparted knowledge to all of us. And like I say, like by 2007, Triple Eight is slightly, I remember I told you the first audition had like 20, or the third audition had like 300 people.
Damn.
Right? So we started growing and growing and growing, and it started to become like a full-time company. I don't really have much. My job is this. Basically, I do like the party stuff. And I look after the B-boys, party stuff. I don't know much about dance, right? Everything about workshop now that you see, I learned it off him. I mean, he was the one doing all that. I don't do any of this.
Yeah.
It's all Joe. He's the one who plans the recital. He's the one. I just like whatever, man.
So what exactly were your roles? So he was the dude like really.
So he's the
organizing
dude
you.
that organized everything. I'm the dude to look up that make sure that the crew
communication
have
kinda-
fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Like newbie party, end of the year parties. Just making sure everyone comes together. My house is like, my mom hates me, but
Yeah.
my house is like the place to go to, because it's slightly bigger, so everyone can just hang out. It's central. And also when we have international guests, I usually do the after party for them. So Joe would do the workshop. And when we have workshop back in the days, it's not like we sell it to people. We just get our own crew member to join. So this whole thing, once again, let's go back to how this whole started. 2001. Before we did any workshop in the world, 2001, Missy Elliott was in town, right? And Joe was like, yo, Sicily is here, Eddie Morales. I don't know who these guys were.
Yeah.
And then he told me they were B-boys. Then I heard, Kamel was here. Yeah, I'm a B-boy, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit. So we went around and tried to stalk them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh my
we
god,
did.
I love that.
Yeah, we stalked them.
Hustle.
So we stalked
Yeah.
them to a restaurant, and Eddie was like, yo, motherfucker, what are you guys doing, man? We're like, oh, we're just we're dancers. We're your fans. And he's like, oh, you guys dancers? All right, cool. So, then we hung out with them. And then that was the first night. They were like, hey, man, yo, you guys can get some weed? Like, like New Zealand weed is not too bad. So we hooked them up, and then we took them to the after party and, vibe up with them. And then that's literally our first interaction with international choreographers. The following year or a couple of years later, Eddie came back and he remembered us, right?
Yeah.
He hit us up. And then after that, that's how the ball started rolling. And then someone told Kenny Wormel that, there's this bunch of guys in New Zealand, they're really good. Like, let's hook them up. So, now, anytime a tour comes to New Zealand, people will email us first. And Joe will set up a workshop, I'll set up the after party.
Crazy.
Things like...
That's such a good balance.
yeah,
of it.
exactly,
So,
right?
yeah.
Do you know where we can get a haircut? Because a lot of African American, they're picky about
Yeah.
people cutting their hair. So barbers, New Zealand tattoos.
Yeah.
So that's what we do for them. And all this is just, we don't make money from it. It's dance, right?
Did you lose money, or were you just breaking even?
Oh,
this and that,
we use money. We have to.
Yeah, you just-
yeah, right. So during college years, we just put up what we can. We hosted a lot of people, man. Like people these days who are superstars. Robert Hoffman, Twitch, Eddie, like Sky. They did the 2020 New Zealand JT tour with the help of Dance to Access. I'm not gonna say they didn't help us out. Like they got us there, but everything was on us.
Did you know what you guys were doing at that point, or were you just totally just passion? Hey,
Just
I just want to
passion, man.
do this. Yeah.
We just want to hang out with dancers.
Damn,
That's all we were.
crazy,
That was because so I graduated in 04 and I had a job and I was working at British American Tobacco. Right, I was working for the devil. Great pay, good job. But I was in charge of Horeca, which is hotel, restaurant, cafe, right? Amongst other things, and through that I got to know a lot of owners of clubs, and obviously every time there's a concert in town, they want the artists to come, but artists never goes out. But because all the dancers know us and they're like, yo, we're going out with Joe and Nick tonight because they trust us.
Yeah.
We've been doing for so many years and we'll bring them wherever. And the artist comes.
Yeah.
The artist will be like, yo, where you guys going? or this bunch of dudes that we know, like we trust them, and through that, we meet the artists, like
Crazy.
Gaga came to an after party, like IPs did, yeah, let's just name a few, man. Like so my job was literally to do that, and his job is to do the workshop side.
I love this story already. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
so
yeah.
there's nothing about money. Like, we're paying out our own thing. And once again, like a lot of the connects that I made through just work with, bar owners, I help them, they help me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, Nick, if you're going to bring others down, let me help you out with the bar tab a little bit and things like that, right? So that's how it worked. And literally, that was it. It was nothing serious. Like, I don't take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
But b-boying side, yes.
Yeah.
But then again, I also knew at a very young age that I think by 2006 that I will never be the best b-boy.
Yeah.
But I sure as hell want to make sure that my crew has the best access to that, so they can be better at training, right? But once again, New Zealand's very far, so there's only so much we can do. And same for Joe. Like Joe was taking this seriously, as in like Joe knows that this is dance, this is life. So we back him up wherever. For me, it was still a fun thing. I had a job, I didn't. I was not like really like I wasn't
gonna push for it.
No, it was just more like fun, and that's the thing that a lot of people forget these days when they dance.
Yeah,
that it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
right. And I can tell you, like, I would say that my lifestyle may be a little bit loose. You know what I mean? I'm just having fun, working, staying at home. But that's another part of a chapter of my life that I had to change.
Yeah,
which is why I left, because I was like, yo, you know what? Like, I gotta change.
Yeah.
I need a start afresh, right? Which is why I left in 2010. I quit my job. And then decided to move to Asia. I didn't know where yet. Singapore was obviously a obvious choice because I have family here. Auntie, uncle here. And then I made the move, right?
So you were doing this like constantly. What was next after you guys just hosting people, doing this and that?
Hosting people. Honestly, between like 2004 to 2010, before I leave, it was just like, all right, b-boy battles. We join battles. We join official session. We do our b-boy stuff. For Joe, it's like the production every year that he does. HHI at one stage, and then once been there, done that, that was it. You just have to do it once, and that's it. And then he's trying to constantly expand. We're just trying to figure things out, right? And, to be honest, I don't think I was much help to him in that sense when it comes to growing his dance. But I help him in the other parts of, the part where party brings people together. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, if you have a crew and it's a shit ass boring crew, then no one's gonna be part of it. But
I literally think events, like it's technically, like whatever you just want to, like if you want to encompass it, just events brings people together.
For sure.
Think whatever kind of event, you just need like an event, and to be like this is the event, it really does.
Just even like, hey man, like you know what? Just drinks in my house. It's a good way to keep everyone together and just vibe off each other. That's really, really important.
Do you feel like you were trying to like not recreate, but like the experiences you had with your crew, having fun, bringing people together with your crew, you were just kind of like emulating that into like when people came down, kind of thing?
Summer Jam is basically that.
Okay.
It's basically that. I even told the choreographers, if you want to have a beer and teach, it's fine. Go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, why are you going to be like, hey man, you're teaching, you shouldn't be drinking? I mean, I'm not telling you to get shit-faced. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a hot as day. And the most important thing is relax, have fun, like, I know you guys want to be, all up in the video and stuff like that, which is why if choreographers is like, yo, I don't want to film my class, I'm like, sure. Yeah. You
don't want to like push it on.
No, like, everyone teaches differently. I do want to film what they say though. Right, that's important, but I don't have to film videos, which is why there are people hitting us. How come you don't release that video? It's because choreographers don't want you to release it. Don't release it.
Cool. I really want to get into like all this kind of stuff, Recognize, and then like RF Jam and all that, Summer Jam. But like anything before up to that point of like starting Recognize, is there any important little like moments in your life? Like again after you hosting parties?
Summer Jam started in New Zealand.
Okay,
so Summer Jam...
Yeah, because it started ages ago. Or like, kind of ages ago.
So Summer Jam is what we do every year when we have, when we create... Like, let's say we pick the new crews. We have this thing called Summer Jam, where everyone pay $1 and everyone in AAA will teach a class. It's a community thing, right? It's bring everyone together. So that's what Summer Jam was. And then also, the most important thing is, before me and Joe left, because he went to Australia first. And when he left, I'm like, fuck New Zealand, I'm going to go too. Yeah. We made this conversation, which is kind of weird. We need to find people like us that respect the culture, respect the dance, and not try to rape that shit. All right, let's because if we go out there and be like everyone become Triple A, it's just weird because it's our crew. But we want people to stand alone and yet be part of something. So we came up with Gem Republic. It was just me and him back then, right? So that all happened before we left.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Was that like you sitting down talking about it? Like,
yeah.
okay.
We talked about it. We were like, we need to find people that are like-minded and just do what we do, right? And everyone that's Gem Republic literally is what I just said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in it, so you know. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so that's I guess an important milestone before we left because
Hell yeah.
we didn't create it for work. It was like even though back then I already had a full-time job, I was working for already 7 years.
Yeah.
Like I still love dance. That's the most important thing. Like dance bring a lot of people around and a lot of things that I've got in life right now is because of dance,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Even all these like hang out with
Just
like
meeting you
others.
was, like, from dance.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all like
Everything. Yeah.
people need to like. I just feel like sometimes people like don't like I'm a dancer, like they say it. I think it's better these days, but like back in our days, a lot of people, oh, I'm just a dancer. It's like, no, you're not just a dancer.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, be proud of that.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah. So I guess, that was that turning point. I guess, for us to come up with that name.
Definitely.
And the logo was created by this girl in our crew called Twyla.
Cool.
She's like, you guys gonna pay me? I'm like, no, no money, man. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna make it up for you. Yeah.
Crazy.
So yeah.
Damn, that's insane. I love that.
Yeah.
Was there like what was that the mission, like, I guess, of like we just want to build a community around the world, or like was it even around the world? What was your like mission then?
Well, we just
when you
want
like
well, because we're going different paths.
Yeah.
He's going to Australia. I'm going to Asia. So we're like, let's just make this and then see who we can find that can connect everyone, and then let's have fun.
Yeah.
Just work together.
it was just like see how it
Yeah,
goes
it wasn't it wasn't like it was never work, right?
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess that's the whole New Zealand side sorted.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like let's get into like now building Gem Republic.
So
What was the
2010 came here. I was traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling came. Felix opened a studio. I say hi to him.
Were you in any involvement in like
No.
building it? No. Okay.
I think Ashley.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I always get
actually.
mixed up if you were like in it
No,
as well.
no,
But
no.
you
I
were
came
just
after.
around. Okay.
He started first. I came by, and then I was staying with Felix for a while because I was trying to look for a job. I actually did find a job before I signed a contract. I was like, damn. I was like, it's not a corporate job. Why don't I just try this for 3 years? So I hit up Felix. I'd be like, how about this? Like, let's do this together and see if it works, right? And he was kind enough to take a chance on me because in a way he'd be like, because he's also a very strong-minded b-boy, right? B-boys are b-boys. So he took a chance, and then I'm like, all right, let's do this together. So I rejected that job,
Crazy.
right? And then went to this. Now that 2010 to 2012 certain period will probably be the hardest period in my life.
Okay.
Dude, we stayed in the studio. Like he can choose to go home, but for a period of time he was staying in the studio, and we stayed in that studio for almost 2 years
Damn.
to save money. I was surviving on like $500 a month, dude. Like we were just literally like, this is all in.
Yeah.
Like sleeping in the office, walking 10 minutes to escape past old school. Obviously, the biggest dance studio back then.
Yeah.
Or still is, but to use the shower, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So 2 years, man, we had to do that. Straight up. Yeah. I mean, he's cool for me to go stay with him, but we need space too, right? We see each other at work every day and whatnot. So
How old were you when you decided this? Like this?
27.
27. Okay.
Wait, 28. I'll say 28.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, this is an all in moment, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I have to learn. Like I talked to Joe a lot. When I made the decision, I was like, all right, cool, man. You know what? I'm gonna run dance studio now. So I need all the help I can get. I called him a lot for advice and things like that. And everything he did back in AAA, bro, I was like, thank God I listened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a few things, like what kind of classes should we have? How do you like who to teach, or all that stuff.
Okay.
It's just and kids, bro.
Knowledge,
kids. I deal a lot with kids back then with the parents because I'm just down and I forgot that I actually hang out with the kids' parents a lot. And when we did the studio, I put a lot of emphasis on kids. So from a long time, I just really like kids because I always knew that like kids are the future.
Yeah, I've always I don't know. I've just grown up feeling that way. Just
Well, you can't change the future with adults. You gotta change it with the next generation, right?
Yeah.
So, which is why I said I was like, yeah, okay. So let's work on a few things, and then it was hard because we were the newest studio. There was already a few studio ahead, Studio Wu, Old School, Dance People, and we had to find our mark, right? And everyone just wanted us to stay down the b-boy lane, but we were like, hell no. I mean, yeah, that's what we're good at, but that's not all we are good at, right?
Yeah.
So it was hard because we had to fight to stay alive, dude.
Yeah,
Like, so yeah, and then everything that I've learned from Joe, I just realized everything we did was called community. That word wasn't in my mind. It's only when people start using it.
Yeah, because even when you told me, I just
think back. I'm like, that's what it is, right? So and I felt like the only way we can sort of bring people into the studio is to, start bringing some international people, but good people, right? So I think he started with some of the Kaba boys, and then I started with Dea, Luis Soto, Amanda Grind, and Eddie Morales, who's a big part of my life. Both Eddie and Sky Hoffman and Andre Fuentes, the three of them are like our biggest mentors. You know what I mean? Like when we met them in New Zealand, before this was even a serious thing for us, they taught us a lot. They helped us a lot. And every time they go back to America, they'll be like, yo, if you guys ever go to New Zealand, you gotta hit up these two kids. These guys are bomb.
What kind of things did they teach on this?
I mean, first of all, just dancing wise, just like how, because back then we were still dancing, so we weren't asking them about business. It was
I was like,
how do you train, what mindset, like how do you better yourself, and all these things.
All the dance questions.
Exactly, all the dance questions, and
So nothing about was it not like the technicality of dance? Was it like mindset? Was it other things to do? Because they're in the business, they're in the industry. Did they teach you anything about that, or were you just concentrated solely on just dance?
Well, I think Joel is solely with dance, but for me and just talking and just I mean, I'm not dancing anymore. Towards I think from 06.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I was b-boying, but I wasn't
just not.
I was but just vibing with them,
cool.
Knowing how everything works, different countries, and just talking, just knowledge. It's not really
it's just
knowledge
that will play a part in the future.
And when I mean mentor, I mean the things that that could easily just be like, hey man, thanks for a good time and fuck off, and that's it. You know what I mean? But we had really good times, and I see Eddie and Sky a lot, and Andre. So they give us really good, sort of encouragement. Hey guys, keep doing what you're doing. And when we hit them up, on email, they don't not talk to us.
Yeah.
They're always like, hey guys, our homies are coming down. Look after them. And dude, their homies are like Marty Kadalko. You know what I mean?
It's all
so we kept that going. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's why Summer Jam last year, I brought Eddie and Sky out as like a thank you, because I feel like the world needs to see them too. The younger generations, they don't. They just don't. But I guess as they grow older, they will understand. But yeah,
If you had to say a story or some moment of struggle that I feel would be interesting for someone in the whole building the studio, the going all in.
Dude, that 3 years struggle, man.
Yeah, I just want to hear a little bit more. I just feel some things which
Man, me and Felix, we went through. Hard, man. It was hard. There was months where it just be shit, how are we gonna get through this? You know what I mean? I don't want to go into too much details, but that's what I say. Resorting to sleeping in the studio is one way to save costs. I can tell you this story, man. There was another guy staying with me in the studio. He's in RF2, right? And there was one month we were like, shit, man, it's gonna be a dry ass month. He's like, yo, how much you got? I'm like, yo, let's buy a water bottle, what call it, a kettle.
Okay.
Let's buy a kettle so that we can just buy noodles and cook it.
Yeah.
Because this was in a house, so we invest $25 in the kettle so that we could buy boxes of noodles and just make that shit. That was crazy, dude. That was crazy, and yeah, I mean, and when I'm sick, I would go back to sleep, at Felix's place. But the rest of the time, we just,
You just
yeah. Man. Oh no, here, this is the
the
other
other
split.
one. Yeah.
This one is way better.
This is insane.
This one has a shower at the bottom, bro. I can
Yeah.
tell you one thing I've learned from this is I don't take shower for granted anymore, especially hot shower, bro.
Yeah.
Like 2 years of cold shower is like, oh, son.
You know,
It's
like
crazy.
this is random, but like cold showers like have a lot of health benefits and stuff. It's
probably why-
insane.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's probably why
Yeah.
I got, like I was way sharper, like back then. But
It's weird. They say that like having cold showers, like just pretty much the like ability to be like I'm going in for this cold shower makes you make decisions quicker also. And it's like weird things like that. Like
I'm more like, fuck, I'm going for this cold shower again.
yeah.
Dude, this is crazy. This is, it was hard, man. But yeah, that was the hardest.
Okay, yeah.
Like that whole cattle thing is, dude, my
Something
mom
else
doesn't even
stick
know
out.
this, man.
Yeah.
My mom only found out about this like last year. It was hard for her because I mean, we're like, middle income family, but like, we're
Still, you don't
comfortable,
wanna
right?
see
Yeah,
it,
but so, but it was, that was good though for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
To
had
experience all that, you mean?
Yeah,
Or-
man.
Yeah.
I think I was babied a lot at home. Kind of like just relying on my mom a lot. So having this was really good. I mean, the first time I used washing machine at Felix's house, I broke it
Oh,
because I didn't know how to use it.
that's so crazy.
It was so stupid.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like, broke my fucking washing machine.
Yeah.
Dude, so it was crazy. But yeah, that I would say that period of like 2010 to like 13 was like the hardest.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything we do, we had to really watch what we had to do.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hectic. All right, let's get into like I don't know, close to like this point now. So like maybe yeah, let's just go into Summer Jam. I feel like we'll kind of like get into because that's like the I guess biggest and newest projects that you're like constantly pushing out.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Because I know you're building like Jam Republic team and like all that. Is that
Yeah.
kind of intertwined with all that? Like
Well, I mean, okay, you're in Czech Republic, but the only difference is obviously, like you moved from Perth to Sydney
Yeah.
and you took a different path, but you're still part of the team. And what Czech Republic really is basically finding people same mind as us. Community first, culture first. Money is important, but not at the expense of the culture, trust. And it's easy to make a team of anybody,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But to really, really have a team that all have the same mindset, it's ridiculously hard.
it's like impossible to like,
Yeah,
really-
and I don't even know how I
Yeah.
did it. I mean, we started with me and Joe. By 2013, we had 6, and now we have 29 different. Well, not different countries, but 29 different organizations that are part of this whole thing, and it helps because what we do is, basically sharing flights with instructors, helping each other get instructors, and I model this really kind of like Wu-Tang. So Wu-Tang is strong. But when Wu-Tang is strong, every member also stand to gain. Even the smaller one. Like so everyone wants Method Man, Ghostface Killer, Rake One, but then there's also Inspector Deck, there's also You God. But these guys also get a chance to sort of like, I guess, gain from the fame
yeah.
because of the name they are under, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
which is why I say General Public, there are people who are in certain countries who are like, hey, these are not the best guys in the country. I'm like, they don't have to be the best, like business-wise. They just have to be the best mind-wise. So I still have them, I still help them. Because the key is to help everybody grow. Which is why I don't want to like make them like a General Public studio. I wanted to keep their identity, but just be part of this, alliance thing, right? So that's what the whole thing is about, you see. As with Summer Jam, I mean, yeah, RF Jam has been going for a while now. Felix basically been organizing Summer Jam, RF Jam for 10 years already, right? This is crew competition. Started with 3 days, and a great job. So, we're just trying to change it up a little bit. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, we're like, we need to get more girls to RF Jam. Way too many B-boys.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's not.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, cool. You know what? And I'm not gonna. Yo, this is funny. When we had this conversation, we're like half drunk. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do a camp.
Yeah.
Let's do Summer Jam dance camp. I did that in New Zealand before. So we're like, there was a piece of receipt that we wrote the name, people we wanted. Yeah. So that's how it really started, right? And then we just, it was a risk too. Like I mean, regardless of how long we've been working together, he's always pretty okay. Like, as in, he's pretty supportive of my projects. When I throw stuff at him, even when it's like, yo, it's crazy big. I mean, the first one wasn't super big, but still, I mean, like, it's a whole lot of money to build a tent, an extra tent for like 5 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And the first year there's no air conditioning.
Yeah.
People almost died in there. So we only had like 6, 7 choreographers, but yeah, we started with that, and the aim is just to have fun. And the best thing is on a Sunday, the beach party. I keep telling people, you guys can stay for that, because the beach party is probably the only time that there is no genre of dance anymore. There's no, I'm a popper, a locker, a b-boy. Everyone's just dances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the most important thing, and everyone has fun. Lau called this the spring break for dancers.
I love it.
Yeah. So
That's really cool.
and as you can see that around the world, you can see more and more people starting to follow that whole theme of party and
Party,
dance.
community,
Exactly.
that vibe.
More
More
than
than just,
exactly.
dance, dance.
Yeah. And
Was that your like goal with it? Like pretty much when you started, like some dance was just like some jam was like
it's supposed to be party, man. It's like beach must be involved. I mean, initial plan was crazy. It was like, yo, let's have it on the beach. I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe later. But in the end of the day, beach has to be part of it, because brings people together. And then the whole thing just came together, and it got bigger and bigger. We added arena onto this, and then just now it's like 7 to 9 days long. Not gonna get any longer. This is it, but we're constantly looking at new things to make it up. For next year, the theme is young generations. I feel like
I've seen.
I feel like this kind of talk is good, but I feel like the kids need voice too. Kids are not always wrong. There's a reason why the kids are at top of their game right now. So yes, the OGs are important, but I feel like it's time for the kids to have a voice, to be able to tell their story. And then so that's the theme. I can't really tell you much because I haven't released a lot of stuff yet. But yes, it's gonna be a new gen.
I love that.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, not super random, but like just Summer Jam in general, like it's weird, and I have to like thank you for this, but like it literally changed my life. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it really just did, from me meeting people, like, because the first one I came, I was about to quit, like dance. I was just like, man, I just don't want to dance. And then like I just don't think it was anything like specific, but it was just the fact of like everyone being there and just some sort of energy. It just literally changed my direction.
The most important thing is that you're not alone. Like I think, like when you get there, you meet people. They have the same problems as you do. They have the same concerns as you do. But when you dance, that goes away, and when you dance together, it goes away. And not only that, I think through all this fun, you'll find ways to create and make new things. Whether it's for business or whether it's friendship, whatever, you know what I mean? And I mean that's what we want people to do. And it's really simple. I mean, like I say, whatever I've been doing, it wasn't like I planned this.
Yeah.
But I always knew that dance is important. Dance changed my life in a lot of ways. But I just don't know how to show it to people. Like people be like, hey man, how come you know like all these artists? I'm like, because of dance.
Yeah.
No, straight up, like because of dance. Like, Justin Bieber came. I did the workshop. I didn't care. I mean, no disrespect. Just that I'm not there because oh my god, Justin's. It's just Marvin Malora was here and he's a good friend of ours. I did workshop for Marvin. I did workshop for Nick Demora. Then we did the after party. But my after party is always so damn good that like even the artists want to come, right? And that's where I met Justin's mom. She came to the party. You know what I mean? So like. And the party is just just vibing. It's always about the dancers first, bro. Like every single after party that I do, I will always tell like the organizer, like the club, oh man, is the artist coming? I'm like, that's not really I don't care. I'm just telling you that like the dancers are coming. I want to make sure the dancers get well looked after, and that's it. And that's why I said like all these dancers who come and tour New Zealand and continuously like hit us up. Like these are people who like help us, because without them we won't be right here right now, right? And even right now, like having them endorse us when we do things, it's crazy.
Insane.
It just validate a lot of things that we do, and we didn't do this like say to for work per se. Like I just did it because it was fun.
The work just kind of came along.
Just came along. So and then Summer Jam is Summer Jam, and for myself, started the agency, which is I guess the next step because There's a bigger picture with the agency. I want to run it like a sports management company. The long-term future of this, like 10 years plan, is basically so that anyone that sign up with the agency gets a health insurance plan, because we know dancers don't have that, right? Because it's so expensive. Different part of the world have different sort of like health plan, but I know New Zealand's pretty lucky. I think if you get injured in New Zealand, ACC covers a lot of that stuff, but America, no.
Yeah.
Australia, I'm not quite sure.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty good in general. Just
yeah,
like,
in general. And also just have like an investment plan so that when dancers retire or they get hurt,
Damn, that's insane. Okay.
there's something they can leave with, just like rugby players in New Zealand, right? So funny enough, the guy who, so I have a couple of friends who have this new agency called We Are Tenzin, and they basically are a new agency for sports people in New Zealand. And yeah, they came up with this idea because a lot of rugby players, when they stop playing, a lot of their income stop coming in, and they just lose it all.
Yeah, it's the peak, and then it just like if it's
Exactly,
not there, especially athletes. Athletes are the ones because
Exactly.
it's like when your body dies, like
Yep.
you have like you can't do much.
So these guys are basically helping athletes that they sign to manage their financial properly for them.
Hell yeah.
And this same dude is the same guy who gave us a spot for the after parties back in the days. Brooke Howard Smith.
Yeah.
Kiwis would know him. He used to own Pony Club, which is below the strip club. That's where our go-to spot is, right? So yeah, I mean, I still talk to him sometimes. But for the dance side of things, this is way.
Yeah.
We need to start small. And slowly, and my aim right now is, okay, Summer Jam is one thing, community, bring everyone together. Next thing is to basically showcase talent from Asia Pacific, right? All these dancers from America, they are great. Europe, they are great. But there are also good dancers in Asia and in Australia and in New Zealand. And I'm not talking about the HHI stuff. Everyone is good in their own ways.
Yeah.
And the key now is to like creating sustainability for all of them so they can continue dancing and showcase their talent.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the most important thing. A lot of Australians, like the whole jazz world, ballet world in Australia is really big, and a lot of these dancers, they go to America, right?
Yeah.
They try to audition, and if they can get in, they get in. That's
Always
why
that.
there's a few Australian dancers that are on tour. Those that don't really make it, they go dance at USS and whatnot. But what about the urban dancers? What about you guys? Like, you guys are not like any worse than them.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Creatively, you may even better than that.